You have joined me as I come back from my trip from the shops. So, oh, you're welcome. So I just thought I would come on and talk to myself on the way home. But, yeah, the Halloween is coming up, and there is a car there with a, alright, with a, I thought there was nobody in it, but obviously there is. The door was open. It is, whatever it is on the recording, what time it is. And there's events in Derry in relation to Halloween. No official parade this year, but as far as I was told, yeah, it is said to be one, if not the biggest Halloween festive places in the world, you know. And you know, this wouldn't happen 70s, 80s, whatever. And you know, at the same time, it's not my thing, you know. Dressing up in skeletons and ghouly stuff and scary shit and blood. You've got these clear plastic things you can put on your door now with this red, like blood splatter to keep out. I was never into that kind of stuff, and one of my neighbours actually has that on their door, and my skin crawls every time I pass it. It's just not one of my things. And you'd think, being somebody that's involved in the paranormal, they would be sort of into that stuff, but not necessarily. I mean, like when it comes to the paranormal, you have the truth. You have the truth mixed up with lies. You have complete and utter lies, and a bit of artistic license, and that. And for me, that kind of scene just isn't my thing. It doesn't give me a picture of the true paranormal, you know. Been very interesting couple of days actually. Now, on this channel, in the past, you have seen us go out, do paranormal investigating and that, and before lockdown, yes, we've done that. Ever since lockdown, we've been scratching our heads, wondering what way can we move forward instead of just going to abandoned buildings and doing the same thing. And the last couple of days have shown me a lot about the paranormal, that you can't just show it all on YouTube sort of thing. I know a company who just changed premises. I'm not going to mention them because it's kind of private. Now, some of the people in that company have recently started watching my channel. they have moved into a premises, and some of them have not been sort of interested in the paranormal until recently. And the reason why the paranormal has got their attention is because the paranormal has got their attention, and it certainly has got my attention for sure. You know, there's a sort of theory knocking around that when people do some remodeling and change a building, that paranormal activity sort of hypes up. And you know, it's hard to know if some of this is true or not, because it's highlighted in a lot of TV paranormal shows. But certainly it's been happening in this case, and just happening to ordinary people. I mean, we've had apparitions, shadow figures, doors closing and opening, and footsteps going up and down the stairs. Now, what kind of help can we do in those situations? Now, you know, some people would turn to ghost hunters and say, "Will you do an investigation and help us find out what's happening here?" And they go into the building, they spend a couple of hours in there, they check out their REM pods, they try to get the REM pods to go off, they check out a spirit box, try to get some communication that way, some EMF readings and stuff. But because this place is a sort of business, you kind of have to be a little bit subtle about this. You know, some people would see that as an opportunity. Oh, that's going to be a great video for YouTube. You know, we mightn't get anything, but we can give it a try, and we catch something. It's going to be class on YouTube. But we're talking about real people here. We're talking about, you know, a real business, a real, people that are not used to this kind of activity and stuff. So, you know, it's very difficult to figure out what to do. But at the same time, sometimes when you have situations like that, people ask you for advice, you know, it's important that you know that if they don't want YouTube involvement or Facebook or whatever, to honor that request, because when it comes to the paranormal, YouTube's not the main part of paranormal. Although I'm working on a YouTube platform, and a lot of the content comes out on YouTube, but at the same time, I do see that attitude where it's about making the viewers happy and stuff. But when it comes to people being scared out of their wits with things that they are not used to, but they don't want to be in the public eye, do you know, there is things that you can do, do you know, and that involves paranormal investigating in a way. It's not very flippin' exciting. One of those things in which I've done is I have set up a recorder to voice activate, and the recorder actually will trigger off on movement, and that recorder will be put into the premises when the people leave. So if anything happens outside of their working hours, we may be able to pick up stuff. Maybe, possibly EVPs and stuff. But when it comes to YouTube, I'm trying to put this into words. I think we need to widen our scope a little bit, because it's kind of based on entertainment, and as I said before, it's run off a script of Ghost Adventures, which sort of we need to move on from this, so that is part, those kind of things are part of an investigation. Giving somebody a recorder and giving them instructions to put it on at certain times while they're not there. That way, if there's activity when they're not there, we'll be able to pick it up. And it is it's an environment that isn't being tampered with because there's no one there. That is sort of a start. Cameras is another one, although there is cameras on the premises. Will they get notifications on the cameras? Maybe, maybe not. Will they get activity while they're not there? Possibly. I have been told that the lighting system is on a heat sensor. So, floodlights where you have the motion sensor. The motion sensor, it's triggered by heat actually, and lights have been seen on in the building when nobody's in it. Even though the theory that spirits causes cold spells is a bit head scratching, but what I'm trying to say here is sometimes this goes beyond YouTube, and when it comes to putting people's mind at rest, sometimes you have to forget about public broadcasting in those kind of situations. Yes, I know the viewers would love some footage in certain places, but sometimes you just can't do it. But some people will actually refuse to get involved unless they have the rights to publish their findings and that, and I just don't think it's right, You kind of start questioning what's their actual priority, sort of thing. Is it to find out exactly what the paranormal is, or to get exciting videos on YouTube? And for me, it's about the paranormal. It's about the whole thing. Yes, YouTube is brilliant, and it's a great way of documenting your stuff, but sometimes it's just not possible. Should you refuse to help somebody out? I think it would be very selfish to do that. But yeah, just thought I would sort of share that. Investigating. You know, investigations take a long time. You know, people say, oh, you know, we're doing an investigation tonight, folks. You know, tune in and tell your friends and all the rest of it. Spend a couple hours in a no one haunted place or abandoned building or whatever. It takes a long time sometimes. Now, when it comes to places, and we've been to, you know, we have been to loads of places and that, you know, if we get strange activity in one place, you know, and we can't explain it, I'm not the type of person, and some people are, that, wow, we got great results tonight in this place, but next Friday night or next Saturday night, we need to go to a different place, because the viewers are going to get bored if we go to the same place all the time. The thing is variety. That variety isn't that important in the paranormal. When you think of it as paranormal investigations itself, because after all, you're investigating it. You know, you think of a police investigation. Do you know? A major crime, and they spend a couple of hours at it. They're not going to say, right, we're going to stop this investigation and we'll finish that one up, and we might come back to it in a couple of weeks' time, but we'll go on to something else because we're bored. They carry through until it's over. Do you know? And it is a YouTube thing. It is a social media and YouTube thing that people get great evidence, but then they decide next week to go somewhere else. Do you know? Like I said before, it's a bit like fishing. Do you know, you go to a lake to fish and you catch loads of fish. You're going to be attracted to go back there again if you got loads of fish there. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the way we thought about places like Rayford. Unfortunately, the building that we got most of the results, it got burnt down sadly. Strangely enough, we done 6 episodes there, and I have only been able to see half the camp. The rest of it I couldn't see because of my health and stuff, and I've only seen them on YouTube Explore videos. So we still have other buildings to go to yet, you know. But yeah, because what happened was the first time we went into this officer's mess, the place had burnt down, and we got stuff. The next time we went, I says to Rachel, you know, maybe we should go to a different building. And then we says, you know, we got stuff the last time, why don't we just follow on with what we have? And that's what we kept doing. You know, the first investigation was the shower block and stuff like that. I think the rest of them were all with this other building, because we were picking up stuff and that. But there is actually other buildings there they're actually made out of concrete and not just tin, so I'm looking forward to seeing those at some flipping stage. But yeah, I just wanted to rant a little bit while I was going home and that. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and have my cup of tea and look at other people's videos again. See you in the next one.